So speaking about alignment, with everything going on in ballroom, what are some things that you guys see that are problems in ballroom? And what are some things that you see also that it could be solutions and resolutions to in ballroom?
I think that it's time that we have a ballroom headquarters for a lot of different reasons. We need a master alliance across all generations, across all cities, states, countries, because for so long, ballroom has governed itself. There has never really been a government in place for ballroom. We speak often. I speak to my peers and about getting these alliances started and doing these things. But it's time to really be about the change that we seek, and that's the biggest thing that why I knew that my mission in ballroom wasn't done, because I will always sit back, I will talk to you about it a lot, I will complain, and then nothing happened. It will fall on deaf ears. But now taking the initiative, and collaborating with Little James and Deshaun Basquiat and Ronaldo Alpha Omega and Aaliyah the More Versailles, all of us collaborating and really creating this bubble of networks so that way we can align and correct a lot of wrongs that are going on, even when it comes to status and how people are not really putting their quality and time into creating those moments. And even when it comes time for balls, sometimes I think that as a promoter, one thing that I had to remember is that maybe every category shouldn't be at every ball. It's time that as a promoter, we also change the direction of how categories are written, where they're inclusive and progressive at the same time.
Shanice, what are some things that you definitely see that you would like to change or try to help to change in ballroom?
You have to start off by educating, having an understanding that, when one win, we all win. It's a community. Even though we get on the floor and we're competition, we as a competition and we battle one another, but at the end of the day, you gotta realize, we all make this work. We have the understanding that it's just it's not a me against you thing. It's about love, embracing each other, supporting each other. Even if someone is in another house and y'all in a competition, that's why after the battle, hug each other and show the love. And it's just now it got so far because again, the generation is even in this time in ballroom is even the young leading the young, or you have that old vintage system, whereas though the dictatorships, whereas though regardless of who are the title holders, the founders of the house, whatever they say goes, so it overrides that, and that makes it unbalanced. That creates friction. And one thing I was telling Jacen, one thing about the Supreme Moncler is that what I desire, and which I know that it will happen, is that I don't want a lot of members, right? We don't want a lot of members, and our members, we want them to have a balanced life, outside of ballroom. So therefore, whatever they contribute to the Monclers or even to ballroom is balanced. It's not stressful. It's fun. It's fun because that's what it was even before. Go back to when you said something about the grand prize, ballroom when we were. Our beginning days, our baby days in ballroom, you walked for trophies.
Right.
They wasn't even giving cash. So that's where I come from when I say it was about the moment. Because you get a trophy, what the hell can you do with a trophy? Set it up and collect dust? You really can't do nothing with trophies. So it's all about. But then I get it because it's about having something.
Those were some of your most fun days.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was fucking amazing. You get on the Amtrak and go. We be on the Amtrak five queens deep, in the Amtrak car, bags in the bathroom, doing our makeup, curling our hair, and it was just all to go and just enjoy and invest in the glory of it. I think that's what the glory has left. So with us who still have the residue of the glory, it's time to come and spread it. To give it out, to be a part of it, to create moments, to create an amazing foundation. Whereas though Supreme Haus of Moncler, where we're gonna lead the pack. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing, and it's this house is so full of positivity, and I'm like, you understand, you could vouch for that. Like, I'm a very positive person now, you know, and that's what it's about. It's just about completely uplifting one another, being supportive of one another, not only for my house, but just for Ballroom, period. And I thank God, by the grace of God, the experience that I've had outside and Ballroom. I so believe that I didn't go through them things in vain. And it's humbling for me to have a platform. I always pray, like, God, give me a platform, you know, broaden my territory, larger my coast. And I'm praying to God, ask God to do all these things. And God said, like, everything you praying for, you already have. And I was like, wow. You know, and it's true. It's just like, I have people that I don't even know, haven't even met, that look up to me when they see me. It's like they're crying, and I'm like, you know, I'm just, it's a blessing. It's such a blessing to have that, and that's why I have to give back and be
So let me ask you this: when you said, I know you both are the founders and the founding parents, and about leading the pack. So what are you looking for as far as overall parents? Like, what kind of qualities are you looking for? Are you looking for ones with tenure? Are you looking for fresh ones? What are you exactly looking for as far as overalls?
We want like young, new,
balanced though.
Yes.
Tenure,
Yeah.
but not too much tenure. Like, I think that a lot of times when it comes to overall positions, like, I'm gonna use me perfect example. When I stepped into the role as overall mother of the house of prodigy, like, at the time that I got it, maturity-wise, I was mature enough to handle it. But 10 years ago, when I really desired it, when I was, like, yearning for it, like, mentally-wise, I wasn't there. But age-wise, I was there. Like, I kind of feel like sometimes we, as elders and icons, we hold on to certain things. And by holding on to that so tightly, you know, eventually it's a revolution. And the revolution and the evolution has already started, because that's why all these new houses have emerged. So for us, I really wanted to make sure that we embody, you know, overall parents who understand community, who are about advocacy work, who have entrepreneurial journeys, or abilities, or potential abilities. And just, you know, you come in like-minded, we vibe together, you know, we have some amazing candidates, you know, already, but that's really what we're looking for. Like, you know, no voice here is bigger than the next. Like, we're all supremely equal.
And what, for me, the overall positions or potential candidates, they gotta have a clean name. They have to be respectful. You know, again, have a balanced life, and I want to bring a lot of participants out of retirement, because a lot of great participants who have amazing talent went into retirement or walked away from Ballroom because the passion, the joy, the dictatorship. You know, it's just a lot of stuff that, you know, that they have experienced. And, you know, like, everything has its good and its bad, but you have to choose to focus and develop the good of everyone. And, you know, and create that potential. You only can do that by being an example and leading by example. And, you know, I know that is what we're gonna do. And I just, you know, the thing that me and Jacen done is basically revolution for Ballroom. You know, a lot of people are going to go and branch out, starting their own homes, starting their own houses, because it's time for that. It's time for, and another thing, what me and Jacen agreed on about the candidates, is that we want to mold them to prepare for leadership. You know,
because in our bylaws we have a rule. You know, whoever sits in the overall position cannot stay there longer than 7 years. Yes. I think 7 years is enough time for you to grow, cultivate, you know, motivate, do what you need to do as an overall parent, and then in the meantime, we start training the next ones in line. You know, the president can't be the president for longer than 2 terms, so there's no reason for an overall parent to be sitting in there 10, 15 plus years. Like, I'm a firm believer too that in having a house and, you know, being a leader, if after 5 to 7 years, if you don't have somebody else to pass that to, that really says a lot about your leadership. Like, it says a lot about you. Like, there should definitely be someone within your organization that you are molding and training and teaching and cultivating to take that spot. Because at the end of the day, when life happens, you know, it's about health and wellness. It's about having a balance, because too much of anything is toxic. And I know how I was at one time when I was 1000% ballroom. It was toxic. It was a toxic environment. It was stressful. I was always in something. I was always doing something. I was just basically using. I was being young Jacen and using Jacen for the bad, you know. And even though I'm so thankful that, you know, my growing pains in ballroom, my growing pains in life have afforded me the opportunity to still be here, to still be present, to still be aware, to still be inspired to keep on inspiring other people. And like, that's really what it's about. Like, at this point where we're both at in our lives, it's about giving back. It's just all about giving back.